For many students on campus, the Department of Education's announcement only confirmed their suspicions. Cal has a problem handling sexual misconduct cases. PhD student Eva Fisher knows this firsthand. 2 years ago, she filed a complaint against Nizar al-Sayad, a professor who had harassed her for 4 years. An internal investigation verified her allegations, but al-Sayad, a tenured professor, got little more than a hand slap.
It was very much like death by a thousand cuts, because it was like, okay, well, this is sort of annoying. I'm like, well, this is really troublesome. And yet I kept having this faith that, like, surely Berkeley wanted to do the right thing.
During the Department of Education's 4-year-long effort, investigators reviewed about 200 cases, finding that the university had bungled about a dozen, including Fisher's case. The report cited instances where cases took too long to be resolved, disciplinary measures were unacceptably light, and survivors weren't notified when their cases were closed or resolved. The university says it's well on its way to improving the system, starting with expanding staffing and services available to students and beefing up the consequences faced by perpetrators.
And some of the main differences in this process is that it now institutes mandatory minimums, which means that if you pass a certain threshold and you have committed a certain level of sexual violence, you are automatically suspended for 2 years.
The reforms are a long time coming, says Margaret Rivka-Palatnik, a retired sociology professor. As a graduate student at Cal in the late 1970s, she helped found Women Organized Against Sexual Harassment, or WOASH, when a professor up for tenure was accused of sexual harassment by 6 graduate students.
If they did anything at all, it was so minimal that it was ridiculous, not dealing with the injury to the complainants, being more concerned about the harasser than about the harassed, having to involve the federal government to get the university to do anything.
But maybe the prospect of UC Berkeley losing federal funds because they're out of compliance with Title IX will finally get somebody to wake up and be like, it is more expensive to ignore this than it is to, like, be a little brave, make a decision that is morally and ethically correct.